We are live.
Let me check it first. See what's going on.
And I can see the comments on this side.
Yep.
I might have to turn this down.
Yeah, definitely gotta turn it down. Mine too.
Yeah. I might have to turn this down.
Yeah, definitely gotta turn it down. All right, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take the beginning part out.
Okay.
Once they go.
They're gonna take the beginning part out, of course. So you don't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, I'm good.
You good, King?
Oh yeah, I'm locked in. Ready to go.
All right, let's do it. You good?
Yep. All right. Peace, family. Peace, family. How are you today? Vibing high over there. Big Leo in the building. I want to introduce Mr. King Manifest to the show today. So honored. I'm grateful that you actually, when I reached out to you, you just totally was like, yeah. You was on. You was ready. I love that. Good energy. I want to switch the show up. Switch everything up about Purple Lotus Flowers. So you are my beginning of a new beginning. Pretty much. I got your music locked in. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on every platform possible at I Am King Manifest 777. He got some good music. You also got your website. We do have that posted in the link too, so they'll be able to get to your link as well.
Appreciate it. Much gratitude.
Whatever it is that you need to do routinely, go ahead and do your thing before we get started.
I say much gratitude.
Okay, clear the energy in the room.
Yeah, so just like to open up our heart space. So I'm gonna play the heart chakra singing bowl, which is actually tapped in at 432 hertz. So going right to our heart space.
Okay.
I say. Much gratitude, family.
Okay, so today we have several things to talk about and definitely kick it as much as possible freestyle, but I did write a few notes down about some things we can talk about. Pretty much today it's about knowing thyself. And I just want to ask you a couple of questions about that as far as like with your journey and when you got started. What would you tell someone that's actually starting out like on their spiritual journey? What's the first step to knowing thyself?
First and foremost, I'll say everybody walk is different. The spiritual path looks different for all of us because we come from different lifestyles, different type of traumas, different type of things caused us to wake up. And so I would say shadow work. And the reason why I say that is because from my experience and the people that I know and what I've studied, when it comes to the Kundalini, when the Kundalini rises, that only happens through a traumatic shakeup in your life. You know what I'm saying? There is a moment where you're actually assessing self. You don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? There's a change that happens in you, and your whole life feels like everything is just going to shit, for the lack of words. You know what I'm saying? You feel like, you're losing your identity. In this time, you actually find self. And so I would say do shadow work, you know what I'm saying? And actually write, journal, do affirmations, change your schedule, actually create a schedule that works, set yourself up for greatness, so do those affirmations, do that meditation, if you got to run and take a jog, or if you have a certain coffee you like to drink in the rising and you want to go get your coffee, if you sun gaze, whatever it is that you do, create a routine that actually sets you up, for greatness every day.
Yeah, that is definitely true. That's how I started out pretty much with mine. I didn't know what was partaking with me. Like when I literally was going through I had a traumatic situation with my marriage, the third marriage that I had. And that's where really, really, as we spoke about it, narcissistic relationship as twin flames, I didn't know any of that. And for somebody to actually go through this and don't know what they're actually going through, it's scary because you just don't know. I thought I was totally like going through a mental breakdown, losing my mind, and it's like you don't have anyone in your corner to tell you this stuff. It's like you don't know what to do. You don't know to talk to somebody. I was very embarrassed to even speak upon what was going on in my marriage, to like talk to my mom or talk to my best friend or anybody and let them know like I'm getting verbally abused over here, I'm getting emotionally abused, not knowing it was me though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff, it was me. And when you have that twin flame that comes into your life a lot of times, or those real bad traumatic relationships, it's there for a reason to bring out all of that stuff that you've been actually holding on to and just repressing for so long. You know what I mean? It was a reflection of me. So his situation, him having abusive, a father that was abusive to his mom, and me having the same situation in my household, it was like a trauma bond. That's how that trauma bond ended up happening between me and him. We shared the same, everything. And I kept looking at myself. That's all you're doing is looking at yourself, and you don't even realize. You know what I mean? So just like that movie that you was talking about, I'm gonna watch that movie and tap in the Inside Out about joy and sadness. That sounds like totally that twin flame relationship, and it's kind of like I was very dependent on him. I felt like I could not go anywhere outside of him. Like he was the only person that existed to me, and I didn't know that bond was just so strong like that. And for somebody, it's a lot of people that's out here. They're going through that. They don't even know what they're going through. It's very, very traumatic. So that's why we here. So people can understand those signs, those symptoms, and the things that no, this is partaking. That's what's going on with it. It's a spiritual awakening, and it's different. Yeah.
You know what's deep about it is that it's really your shadow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We really run from our shadow all this time. So whenever we deal with these certain relationships with these certain people, they actually expose our shadow. And we actually project our shadow, and we project that trauma, we project that pain, because they remind us of something that maybe we've been through in our childhood, or maybe we went through another relationship, or maybe something that we just actually never had. You know what I'm saying? We always desired this certain type of love or this certain type of life. So, you know what I mean? They tamper with that. You see what I'm saying? But really, it's our shadow. Our shadow desires that attention. Our shadow desires to be loved. Our shadow desires everything that we desire with another person. Our shadow desires that. You see what I'm saying? And so, in that process of us neglecting our shadow acts out. You know what I'm saying? And in return, we act out because if we're not vibrating high, then we're moving in our shadow. You see what I'm saying? And that's really what we do in a lot of in our community. We do a lot of trauma bonding. Everybody been through so much. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, we all got stories. You know what I'm saying? You can meet somebody today and y'all could just talk about what y'all done been through, and man, y'all probably could relate on half of the you know what I mean of the things that y'all talking about. And that's just how it is in our community. But if we only knew, the solution is not repeating the cycle. You know what I'm saying? I actually had a situation recently in my life, you know what I'm saying, where, I actually spoke with my father, and I'm grateful for it. At the same time, it didn't really go, the way I wanted it to. But, you know, through this process, because I think this is another part where a lot of people might lose it and get hurt. You have to lose people, and you will lose people. We will lose friends. We will lose close loved ones, because these people won't understand who you are anymore. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about identity crisis on Shadow Work Sundays.
Yeah.
You're in this place where you're finding yourself, and that's a spiritual awakening. To know thyself is to go through the process.
Yeah. A lot of
We
work.
only have to go through this process because we don't know ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So we're it's almost like it's a maze. You're on a journey. And the journey is to find yourself. And everywhere you go, you keep finding different parts of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like this long map. And that's the mission that we on. You know, but if we don't know it's a shadow back there, they keep on stopping us and making us wander off, making us get scared, making us anxious, making us want to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the key is really being aware of the shadow.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you
And
know.
karmic debt that has to be paid as well. So
I
when I
say
got married
that's
to my
ooh.
son's father at 18, um, we was very young when we got married. So he didn't know he had a lot of trauma going on with his parents and things of that nature. So the way that I was being treated was the way that he was being treated as well with his family. He was being abandoned, and stuff like that. So it ended up reflecting onto me. Not only that, I was feeling abandoned by my father and my mother as well. So that was another trauma bond that we ended up, that happened. Once I ended up getting a divorce from him, I had that wall up so tough. You get what I'm saying? I didn't want to get hurt again, but I also didn't go heal myself either. I didn't have anybody to tell me you need to go heal after this relationship. You need to go find yourself because you lost yourself in this relationship, or you need to take some time to Candace. No one was there to tell me that at 23 years old I was getting a divorce. That was very
Right.
young. So I got my son. I'm by myself. I'm a single mother. And at the same time, my avoidance of my father had me looking for that father figure, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that led me into the hands of different people, which was men that didn't even have the right, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even been giving myself to these men. I was just trying to find that love, not knowing it was all within me the whole time, but I didn't know.
I say.
So I'm out here trying to find love, find love. I'm having friends with benefits relationships. I'm out in the streets and dealing with this person, not knowing it's bringing on more and more emotional abuse. And this is me putting this on myself. I can't point the fingers at them. This was me. I had the choice. We all have a choice, and I could
Right.
have went and sat down, but I still didn't know no better. So when I got to my second marriage, here I am. I'm broken all up. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not healed. I still got the stuff from my son's father. All of that stuff is still on me, and I haven't released it. So now I got my wall up with him. He a really good guy, right? So now I become narcissistic to him. You get what I'm saying? So you're gonna become narcissistic to one of your relationships
That's
if you
deep.
don't heal that past. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing him away while he's trying to give me all the love that he needs. So that caused him. I didn't hurt him now. You get what I'm saying? I didn't let him
Right.
go. Boom. I done went on. We didn't got a divorce. Now I done went on to a third marriage. Still not healed. Still searching for love. Still doing that same repeated situation. And I still haven't did it. But once I got to that third one, the universe say, okay, I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Power
gonna
with a
give you
three.
that one. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you that one. Cause this one right here, this one gonna wake you up. If you don't do nothing else, 5 years of total excruciating, emotional, everything, almost turned to physical at the end, abuse on every level there was. You know what I'm saying? But it brought up everything, all of my trauma, all of my abandonment issues, everything that I had. Oh man, it ate and brought everything up out of me. And that one day at the end, I will never forget. I went in the kitchen and I put my hands on the sink and I said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. Please remove this man away from me. I'm done. And within a couple of days, he was gone. I have not seen him since. You know what I'm saying? I done filed divorce. I done did everything, right? And that was my isolation time. I didn't know I was gonna go through an isolation stage. That's that isolation elevator. I started going through like a deep depression, not knowing I'm doing shadow work
Mm-hmm.
on myself. I'm talking about I'm in the room, not coming out the room. I'm sitting there thinking, reflecting. And I said, you know what? I can't blame this on nobody. I can't point no fingers at nobody. I can't do that. This was all me. I had the choice to leave. I had the choice to walk out the door, but I didn't. I stood there and I did that. But most women, or men, they don't understand is you're not loving yourself. You're not loving yourself unconditionally. You're going to stay and you're going to tolerate so many things that you don't have to tolerate because you don't even know all your closure, all your joy, all your happiness is in the inside of you. All you got to do is
That's it.
tap in. Once I tapped in, it was over. You know what I mean? It's like now I'm so powerful, and people don't understand that power that you get from just changing your mindset, going through that isolation stage, and meditating 3 times a day, journaling, writing it down, reflecting. Now I see my stuff before it even come out. So before I even make a decision, I can see it before it even happens, and that's when you're actually like, okay, you in that high consciousness now, because now I can read it before it happens before I even make the decision. So that's where we want to get to, you know, not pointing fingers. That self accountability is what I know we're trying to get out there to everybody because you have to. Without it, you're going to be stuck.
I see.
Yeah. So I got a
Yeah.
long.
No, I love it. This is big shadow work Sunday vibes. You know what I'm saying? This is really it's a vulnerable aspect to this. You know what I'm saying? And so we're being real. So so first and foremost, much gratitude to you. You know what I'm saying for being real and being vulnerable. You know, what's so powerful about it, like just with life, period, and with love and with the process and with what I'm saying. We really always on a journey to know thyself because we always looking for love. Like we're looking for what satisfies us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of knowing yourself. It's a bigger picture, but we kind of get stuck up on this, and that's just due to so much trauma that we having to live with. You know what I'm saying? We like, you know what? I need a relief. I need a
Right.
break. And so we're constantly focused on a break and getting a break. And what relationships do or what they can do or what a new person that's full of life in a place that feel dark can actually do is penetrate really easy, because we're vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful, like you spoke about that shadow work and that you really stepped back and you got out that situation and you really focused on you, and you really loved yourself, to the fullest, you know what I'm saying, and really embraced the self-love aspect even without not knowing, you feel me.
Yep.
That's the beautiful part of the spiritual path is that if you follow the spirit you can never go wrong, so I'm gonna speak on me and my goddess. So it's been a deep process because we've been through so much, from when I was young to when we was younger to all the way up to this point. And so, but I'm gonna just speak about the growth aspect of like of relationships and trauma and all that. I come from a very broken home, both sides. I ain't really have my parents on neither side. I had them, I know them, I lived with both of them, but I didn't. I was on the streets. I live with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go back home right now. There's about 30 families that I can go over right now, and they can tell you that I live with them. You know what I'm saying? I live with so many people. So where my goddess, very tight knit, close family. A lot of strong queens, strong goddess. You know what I'm saying? From my
Okay.
grandma to her mama to her aunties, they all independent in that aspect. Not like I don't need a man independent, but just they just bosses. You know what I'm saying? Like they and very structured and like real overprotective. We come from two different sides. We in the same city, two different lives, two different worlds. You merge these two worlds together, and our trauma is different. But she got trauma too. Don't mean that just sweet just because it was, maybe financially better and more structure is, thing, what I mean? So the balance of it was beautiful. She gave me life, but the word that I gave her opened her mind up to actually see the world as a she did shadow work just by seeing my family. She would see a crackhead in East Waco and look at him like a crackhead. But then now she loves me and she's kicking it with me and my family. And my grandmother has, what I'm saying, is on, what I mean? That's her lifestyle. But she loved my grandma. So it's like, and then so that's shadow work. And so we both had that. I had a problem with certain type of people. bougie or more of a upper class type of person. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had a problem with that type of person. And so. But no, I began to love and really understand the power and learn myself the game and really be able to break. Her family is very, like I said, very structured. Very some of the people to be around, they are so about their business that you kind of feel uncomfortable if you're not on your business. You know what I'm saying? Being around them, and so that was a shadow work. That's self love, and then all the way going through, us learning each other. We've known each other our whole life, and then realizing that I don't know you. I've been knowing you my whole life. Imagine how comfortable you are with somebody that you've been knowing all this time, and then one day you just like, I don't know you. So I said all that to say we've been through a lot of stuff, and I could go on and on at the point of this show. So, but when we got to the spiritual path, that was the hardest part of it all because we are
kind of going differently at the same time.
Because we're getting to know thyself, but in different ways, different times, different. And so the house is not at one frequency. It's not at we're not one. We don't even know who we are. So now she might be used to watching the show, and I'm like, nah, I want to read a book.
Yeah.
She like, I don't feel like reading a book. I thought we was gonna watch, and I might even set the show up and be like, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to read. You know, or many different things. I can give many different examples. But my point is that it doesn't matter as far as a relationship, how much you know somebody, how long you've been knowing them. Obviously, that's all important. But no matter what, when it comes to this spiritual path, when you really on your path and you really working on yourself and you really healing and you really growing and all that, is like there's only a certain type of people that can actually stick around and actually make it through that. You know what I'm saying? And that's friends, that's mama, that's uncles, that's whoever, because you are merging into a new being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A powerful being, a being that actually you were like a conscious rebel against the government to them because they are the government of their system. They are gods as well. They have their divine matrix that they are working through, and so you are fighting against that.
Yep. That's what they said about that spiritual warfare. You having it right here every day. Yeah, it's every day. And those triggers, love is very, very powerful as well. So when I really tapped into my heart space and I became so compassionate about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, here I am. I started going through my birth chart and I started reading a lot more, learning about my planets, my houses, and I didn't know none of this stuff. You know what I mean? And it was like when I started tapping into that, and shout out to my son because he's the one that put me up on that. My son only 21 years old. He was already on it at 17. He was studying African spirituality and everything. He went through the stage, and I didn't understand what he was going through at that time. So it was kind of foreign to me. But when I went through my birth chart and stuff, and I was like, really learning, that really will put you in the spot where you'll know where you at too. A lot of stuff. And I was like, I'm learning my triggers with my story. So going through this shadow work stage, I was finding people that was upsetting me about stuff. So I would get upset, I'm getting mad, and I'm like, I'm at peace. Why am I getting mad? And not knowing those are my stories. That's something that I need to go fix. That's deep within, right? So my sister was one of them. My sister called me one day and she let off on me. I'm talking about just went off, and I'm like, I kind of just stood there and I let her talk, and I was like, yeah, that's something I need to go fix. You know what I mean? And I went and I tackled it and I fixed it. So now I feel as though people have to understand when they're really, really getting upset about things, you really need to go dig deep and find out why is that irritating you and process it. Sit there and reflect on it and figure out why is this making me so upset? Because you're supposed to be at peace at all times. Shouldn't anything be making you upset, especially when you're in your heart space? And I'm noticing the difference now. I don't get upset about a lot of things. I'm so now, homeless people on the side, I stop. I give them money now. When I used to just ride past, you know what I mean, and always coming up with all kind of stuff, but that's still our past. And your past will stop you from doing a lot of that stuff, from being compassionate and showing love towards people. You can't do that. You have to look at the world totally different. It's a world in the inside of a world. like it's worlds and inside of worlds and worlds. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at now, looking at different. That heart space is something else, boy. Whew.
You know, that what was beautiful. What you just spoke on doing is that gratitude. You know, as
Yeah.
well. You know, we gotta have gratitude in this process. You know, because life continues to happen. You know, so
Yeah.
I love how you spoke about that. You just really just giving gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Not really letting nothing break you. You know what I'm saying? But looking at everything as a lesson. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because this spiritual path, I look at it like we don't take L's. We only learn lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we are on a path of elevation, and that's the beautiful path because it's called growing pains. You know what are growing pains? You know, it's like when a baby's teething. You know, you might feel bad for that baby. Like I know I do. You know what I'm saying? I be holding the baby, and I be like, dang, but it is a process for this baby to actually be able to eat. And one day this baby gonna need these teeth to be able to eat. So,
Yep.
so it's actually a part of the evolution that is pretty painful, but it needs to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's almost like if we could continue with the metaphor, what is your ice? You see what I'm saying? We have to find those things that's going to be the ice that's going to, take away the inflammation, the inflammation. You know what I'm saying? To take away the swelling. You see what I'm saying? Take away the pain.
Yeah.
And that's the balance, and that's the spiritual path. You see what I'm saying? That's the meditation. That's the affirmations. That's the good movies. Whatever you love from comedy. Everything is all about balance. I've been doing a lot of reading, and really, no matter what I read and where I go to, everything's all about balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, my art is everywhere. Divine
Yep.
feminine is everywhere. And that's that balance, that masculine and that feminine, So, the crown is where we obtain all our knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily we use our first eye to, well, I would say technically this is our crown. So yes, that's the guidance. That's where we hold the information. But our first eye is who breaks down the information. But the point I'm making is that balance of masculine and feminine, you know what I'm saying? That is the key,
Yep.
to this process, of knowing thyself. I don't know how you are as far as, on the feminine side, on the divine feminine side, me as divine masculine, I started off and all the way till, if I could be real, to about 26. Um, I was and probably 27. Subconsciously,
Yeah.
um, I was toxic masculinity from
Yes.
birth all the way up till to that point.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I connected with my heart space, with my heart chakra, and really started to feel and assess my feelings and cry freely and not feel like, I come from a household where if you cry, you call gay or call all type of different, you know what I mean, many different things, you know what I'm saying? If I love my mama too much, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's gay, you know what I'm saying? So so it was hard for me to break like into that place, but when I did, that was the most powerful thing for me in my life. That's why I'm here now. That's why that's a part of who King Manifest is. You know what I'm saying? My name was King Cross. I was a Christian rapper, well, a Christian rapper, then a conscious rapper, then a spiritual rapper. But when I got to this level, I was like, I can't be burning no cross. I can't be talking about King Death.
Yep.
That because that's not who I am no more. I'm focused on the life because there's freedom in tears.
Yes.
And a lot of
Lot.
men, a lot of our men, like the black men, the melanated, neuromelanated gods don't know that. You know what I'm saying? There's power in those tears. You know what I'm saying? And the goddess, to be real too, because y'all be real, y'all be hard. Y'all gotta create that space too for a man to be able to cry and
Yep.
feel comfortable crying. He can't feel like, man, she gonna, you know what I
We
mean?
gonna
She gonna
talk
be
about
make
me.
it later on, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be a joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, but I feel like that's important, and vice versa,
Yeah.
because there are men that ain't listening to the goddess.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like they're in the relationship. We must listen. Me and my goddess didn't get to where we at now until we start listening, and it's actively listening, not just like, yeah, I heard you, I heard you. Like I get the point. Like no, feeling what she's
Yep.
saying
There you
with
go.
my heart.
We should feel it.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be too long with it, but yeah, that's
No,
more.
you good. You good. This is what it's about. Like I love it. You know what I mean? And that's also going back, tapping back to people that we have to release. That's that detachment stage. I had a hard time with that at first, which was is usually family goes first a lot of times. So when I was going through that isolation stage of that first beginning of trying to know thyself, I stopped drinking. That was the very first thing I did. And I had an episode with one of my brothers, and that right there, it triggered me. And I said, yeah, it's time to stop drinking alcohol. He was actually drinking that night. We was talking. We got into an argument real bad. And he said some things that was very hurtful. And you can't take those words back. So when it was said to me, I was like, yeah, I got to separate myself. This only happened 2 times. What's going to happen the next time? So I gotta step away from my own brother, and I gotta stop drinking alcohol. That alcohol brings out spirit. That's why it's called spirit. You get what I'm saying? They call liquor spirit storage. That's what they call them. Especially Hennessy. That's what he was drinking that night.
I don't even know if you know. It's almost like as you talking, I'm like, she really doing this? You are speaking, and I'm not even gonna say who I'm speaking of,
Hmm.
out of the respect of the current space of the relationship. I spoke on it a while ago. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Because I want him to come one day and listen to the podcast or anything I'm doing, and really open his heart space.
Oh yeah.
So, but that Hennessy, everything that you're saying, I stopped drinking. The same thing you saying, probably 3 years ago, I
Yeah.
stopped drinking completely because of what it was producing in this man. And I
Yeah.
say, nah, look, if we got the same type of, certain parts of us that's alike, and us, and that's what's happening to you, and that's what it's creating in you, I don't want no parts
I
of it.
don't want it.
You know what I'm saying? And what's funny is, to this day, all I drink is water. My God is to tell you,
Me
I don't
too.
drink nothing else but water. Like,
Water
you
and
know what I'm
juice.
saying?
I drink juice like juice fruit, like totally fresh, cold pressed fruits that I get. I cold press them and juice them.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
you
And some
do.
water straight up. It's like
Yeah,
I don't even want no wine. I was thinking like, oh, I could drink. I don't
yeah.
even want wine. I don't want any of that stuff. I was like, nope. Mm-mm. It just creates a whole lot of just covering up, And I think with my brother,
Hmm.
he had things also that he needed to heal from his childhood with my father. We had the same father but different mothers, so the same issues I was having with my dad, he was having the same things as well. But when you don't heal from a lot of that stuff, you start to hurt your family. You don't even realize you're hurting people that's around you just by you covering up and you're running from yourself. And
Right.
me explaining that to him is like, no, bro, it's that alcohol. You're drinking and drinking and drinking, trying to numb something that's still going to come back when you wake up tomorrow. When you sober up, it's
Exactly.
still here. The elephant's still in the room. So you have to do a little bit more harder work than they got to put the bottle down. When you put that bottle down, you'll be able to think more clear. Your mind it'll slow down. Our minds aren't supposed to be moving fast. We're taught that we're supposed to multitask. We're supposed to do 5 things at a time. How are you able to process and get anything done when you got all of this stuff running through? Plus, your subconscious mind is what? Your junk box, right? When we first hear it, we're programmed to think so many different things. All of that stuff is going in the subconscious mind. Now you have to unlearn all of that stuff. You get what I'm saying? You got to reprogram that. So,
Mhm.
like we talked about the crazy word. Crazy word is used. I mean, you see how it's used now. It's like, oh, she crazy, he crazy, this
Right.
person crazy, So we use crazy for everything. And it's like, no, you have to unlearn that. You have to replace those words, replace anything that's
Mhm.
negative that we have been taught. So when we come out the womb, our name is given to us, our birthday is given to us, our social security number is given to us. Your parents are giving you religion. It's like all of the stuff you're not able to make these choices. So that program is stuck from the time you're born
Exactly.
to what, maybe 18, 19, somewhere around there until you start, and then that can go left too.
No, because at that point, you create your own program.
There you go.
I know I did. I had a code program. My program was full of Boosie, Webby,
Oh, all the
BG,
booty shaking.
um, a whole Lil Wayne, a whole bunch of J Dog. You know what I'm saying? I was on, and a whole bunch of proving myself. You know, I didn't care about dying. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't, and I still don't in that way, but in that time it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like putting myself in situations, living a life almost like I felt like could nothing happen to me. It's almost like I knew I was divine. My mama always been in the church. My mama powerful. Like that's why even when it comes to the church, I say I don't rock with a million things. I've been behind the scenes in a million places in the church, and I don't rock with it. At the same time, we are powerful. She's a goddess, so when she sets her intention and she knows the power of her intuition, she is already tapping into higher realms and higher. You see what I'm saying? So we all done that in the church and made things manifest, but it was on a quantum level and we didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? But I really lost my train of thought, to be honest. I forgot where I was going with that.
We always talking about the divine. You were talking about your divine masculine, and about my feminine side. I totally didn't tap into it until I started apologizing to a lot of people. I went back and did a lot of apologies. I mean, I lost a lot of relationships during that third marriage that I had. I lost a lot of people. I didn't even realize how I was treating people. You get what I'm saying? And that was my karma as well from my second marriage. My second marriage, like I told you, I had them guards up. I had self-esteem. My confidence was shot. I had a whole lot of stuff streaming from that first marriage. So my karma came back. And I had to pay that karma debt. People got to understand you have that karma debt. And when it comes and she's coming. You don't know how she's going to come, but you got to pay that debt to clean that slate. So not only that, I'm not talking to my father. It's been like 6 years not talking to him. And I had just bad relationships and friendships that I had. I went back and I talked to my son's father, had a powwow with him. I sent a very long text message to my second husband, apologizing to him about me not being able to love him like I needed to, because I didn't love myself enough to be able to properly love him. Because you cannot love anybody any type of way if you don't even love yourself. And I did apologize about putting my father issues and my voice on him too, because that's a lot of pressure for a man too, especially when he don't understand. I didn't understand what was going on with me, so he didn't know either. I know he loved me to death. I'm gonna tell you one thing about that, but I just didn't know how to properly do that. As far as my third husband, I got closure within myself with him, so I didn't feel the need to have to call him or get anything like that. We had that connection for this reason for me to wake up and become a better version of myself. So I didn't need to apologize to him. But I do wish him well and I hope that he's healing. You get what I'm saying? That's all I had to do. I had to forgive him, forgive everybody, forgive myself, and just go back and do a lot of apologies. I made a lot of phone calls and that put me that right there, that's when my heart chakra really began to open up. Like it started opening up a whole lot. So that forgiveness is something else. You have to do that. Like that's.
I was like, of course it did. Like you went and started apologizing. That's powerful. That is so powerful. You almost make that's an episode. I ain't gonna take your episode. You know what I'm saying? But the power of apologies. Because what like the way of the way an apology makes someone feel. Even if that person don't like you, they ain't rocking with you. They don't want to see you right now. They gonna think about that apology. That apology is powerful. That's a seed. Even like you said, you had to apologize and cut some people off. And the beautiful part about it is that you have no guilt. You removed all the guilt. You say, you know what? I might have been tripping. You know what I'm saying? I might have, whatever you said I did, I did. How about that? And I'm sorry. Now you have nothing to use against me. It's an open. This argument was with my father because he kept trying to bring up old stuff. I'm not gonna say it. I said, look. I don't live in the past. I'm not a time traveler. I said, so we're not doing that. I said, if you want to speak about certain things, you know what I'm saying, you can talk to yourself and you can do inner work. But I don't live in the past. You know what I'm saying? And so But you said you started forgiving the people. And apologizing. That is a part of not living in the past. That is a present. You got to be present.
Yep. Clean slate, totally. My dad was the last of the puzzle, and I noticed that. I was like, it's been 6 years. That fear that I had, people don't understand that fear that we are having is coming from you sticking to your past. So your past is going to keep you in fear because you're still going to continue to keep that wall up because you're thinking that whatever happened in your past is going to happen now. So now you're not giving room for that future stuff to come in, right?
Right.
So this was what 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was a Lions Gate, and I said this is harvest season. This is the age of the Aquarius. I said it's time. I put my work in. I'm more compassionate now. My heart chakra is opened all the way up. I said it's time for me to talk to my dad. I can't let that just go because it kept beating at me. And that's something about when you don't face stuff, it's going to keep coming back. It's going to keep coming back, but it's going to show up in a lot of different ways, right? So I said in order for me to get love again, to be able to accept what the universe is going to bring me as far as the king, I got to fill that void. And my dad, I don't want to have to try to once again fill that void with another man because it's possible it can happen. I don't know yet because I hadn't been into a relationship. I said, no, let me go ahead and I need to talk to him. So I got rid of that fear. My biggest fear was him acting like he did in the past, not talking to me, not listening to me, talking to me reckless, stuff like that. Right. So that's what kept me from calling him all these years to actually expressing him how I felt. Because when I did in the past, it was always, yeah, whatever. We hang up on each other. It was all kind of stuff. So I said, I'm going to call him. And when I called him, I felt like we talked yesterday. The conversation was so pure. It was so refreshing. Like my dad literally shed a lot of tears, and it was funny. I cried for a very long time. I couldn't even cry when I was on the phone with my dad. It wasn't even about me crying. I had already cried and I released a lot of that. It was his time to release. You get what I'm saying? And he said, I thought about you for the last 6 years. I always wondered what you was doing. I always wanted to know was you safe. I wanted to know was you okay. Just know I always love you. I apologize for me not being there like I needed to be for you and your brothers and them. I should have paid more attention to you. I didn't understand how that was affecting you that way. But my dad had issues and trauma and stuff that he didn't get an opportunity to heal from. And that's where I had to tap in and understand it's not his fault either. You know what I'm saying? He had to be taught just like we do. We have to break the cycle with our kids so our kids don't have to go through, trauma and things of that nature. So that's why I said, I'm the person sitting here to break the cycle, and it's going to stop here with me. Now, all the rest of my sisters and brothers, I can't talk for them, but I know for me, I had to have a different perception of my father now. So a lot of things that I did not know that I was hearing from like my mom or hearing from my stepmother, hearing from my aunties, which was a lot of yap, yap, yap. I got a chance to hear from my dad. Totally different story. And I had to forgive him.
So I wanna ask the family, are you that one? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's, I'm really, really, really being led by the Spirit to ask that question. But are you that one? Because with great power come great responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that deep shadow work. That's where us going through them deep processes, the processes that other people feel like our life. We done been through stuff that other people ain't been through. We done been through like some of our life just was always back to back, just trauma, craziness. People ain't nobody loyal, ain't nobody real. You know what I'm saying? Like, every situation I feel like it's real ain't real. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So now I got attachment issues. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, I'm a be there, but I ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a love, but I really ain't gonna love all the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to you, but I'm gonna make sure you know what I mean? Like, I don't do too much. There's a fear, in the love. You know what I'm saying? I got a song called "Confused by Love." And I think that was the hardest part of my life when I realized that love had me confused. And I didn't know that I was confused by love my whole life. But when I realized that I was confused, that was like the most heartbreaking thing. Not the things that I actually put myself through due to being confused by love, but when I realized I was confused by love, you know, and what made me confused by love is my mother, starting with my mother and then my father, and how they love me and how I actually perceive love, and then God, the love that they told me that God was, and then the love that they actually abused me and was very hypocritical on at the same time. So it was like all these different areas. So now I don't know how God love, I don't know how my mama love or my father love. And these are all the examples of love. And then what's so cool about all these three people is no matter how they love, it's the greatest love I ever had. So now I'm out here giving love that I feel like is the greatest love ever, but really it's toxic. But I'm giving my all. You see what I'm saying? And then now when somebody projected back on me that I'm not giving them whatever they asking for, now I'm upset. Because I'm like, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving everything I got. You know what I'm saying? But what I got is not enough to sustain another being because I barely have enough to sustain myself. You see what I'm saying? Because I wasn't taught. And because guess what? If it say you try to do self-love in this perspective and you try to love yourself like your mother loved you, that's a dangerous situation.
It is. And we always convert back to our parents. So when you get lost out there, you convert back to how they raised you, the things that they taught you. You go back to that when you don't know.
Exactly.
Ooh. And then you become resentful. You know what I'm saying? To your parents, it make you become resentful against them too as well. And like I told my mom when I had a talk with her, I said, you was raised on survival mode. Our parents was always in survival mode. My daddy out in the streets. My mama, she working 23 jobs. She going to school. Where I'm at. I'm at home. Trying to find out, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody around. Ain't nobody really there to talk to me. Because my mama hustling. She trying to make sure we good. Me and my brother got food. My dad
Right.
just, doing what he doing at that time.
Right.
He didn't know he hustling too. So both of them not being there, that's what caused me to, I became resentful against them too as well. I was abandoned. So when I
Right.
did get with in my relationships, I was scared of being abandoned by them. So that's why I stayed. You know what I'm saying? You become glued, and that trauma bond became so strong because I didn't want them to leave me either. You get what I'm saying? So I accepted shit that I didn't have to take.
Yeah.
Big thing. Oh man, that's something else, boy. That's something else. And
I
we
ain't
have
gonna
to
lie,
be
like
able to
I'm
act.
in a place like I don't even know what's going on right now, but I'm in a place like this is so powerful. Like I feel tears in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like and not even like I'm about to cry. It's just the emotion of you know what I'm saying, of the story, of your story, of my story, of our story. You know what I'm saying? We the collective. You know what I'm saying? So as one, as like we really. That's why I say that we can talk about certain things and we can all relate because we
Yep.
really all are one. The way they set the world up, they set it up to put us against us, but they also put all of us in different cages.
Yep.
Even
Yep.
in these certain neighborhoods they put us in, this is a big cage. So I'm finna speak on something I've never said, like on the
Let's
live,
go.
but
Let's
I'm
go.
following the spirit. And maybe that's what that emotion was, you know what I'm saying? So I had a dream 4, 5 years ago, maybe three, I don't know, yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even six, yeah, about 5 years ago actually. Um, in this dream, I was walking around a city. I'm in a city, so I'm walking around. I see different people. Say you got a construction worker. Well, actually, it was a construction worker. What that guy was doing, he was doing construction. That's all he was doing. Nothing else. Just construction. Just construction. And it was almost like he couldn't speak. He couldn't wave. He couldn't. He didn't see me. He was just stuck to his job. You see somebody working at the grocery store. That's all they was doing. They was doing that. Every place I went, everyone was stuck in what they were doing. They were doing some type of job, but they were distracted, like they were still like they were in a trance, almost like someone had them almost under some type of adrenochrome. I mean, not adrenochrome, but some type of what is it called? Um, I can't remember right now, but
Feel or something.
basically some type of mind control. You see what I'm saying? So the point is that I walk around this whole city. I'm the only person that's woke, basically. That's, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm walking around this whole city everywhere I go, and then I realized that it was one big room.
Wow.
It was a room. It wasn't even a city. It was a room. You see what I'm saying? And so my point is that I don't know why I'm being led to say all this. My point is that we are multidimensional beings, and the power that we have is just like that metaphor. And I know that dream is way deeper, but just like the metaphor of that dream is that you're walking in this space as if it's so big,
Yeah.
when this ain't nothing but a room to who you are. You see what I'm saying? The power that you actually have in the multiverse. We are
Yeah.
multidimensional beings. So we're talking about healing ourselves. I mean, honestly, there's nothing more powerful. You can have not you cannot have no information about the different guys, the Orishas, the Anunnaki. I don't care what you want, anything that you want to speak on that people want. You can have no information about the quantum realms, the quantum fields, none of that. But if you do your shadow work, you will ascend and you will transcend that little room that feels like it's so big, because our family are those people that stuck on the job, that stuck ain't even,
Yeah.
the people that we run into and we feel weird when we go in certain places. Everywhere I go, I embrace and I be ready for people to judge me. It's like, you know what? I know that I am so amazing that you've never seen something like this.
Yeah.
Especially
Right.
whenever I go and get grounded, I used to not go out there with my shirt on. I'm with my shirt off. I would keep my shirt on because I just for the comfortability for the neighborhood and just thinking, you know what I'm saying? Man, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Rod told me, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You blocking these, you know what I'm saying, what I'm trying to do for you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I started going out there, you know what I'm saying, my shirt off, getting comfortable, getting grounded, I was no socks. I'm out there, I'm in meditation. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm having some powerful meditations, and I'll look and I'll see at certain times these people just staring at me. They
Yep.
supposed to be at the stop sign and leaving. They just sit at the stop sign, just staring at me. You know what I'm saying? And
Like,
so
what are you doing?
me and Julio talked about this, embracing that, because they might see your aura.
Yep.
They might see something in you that you don't even see in you.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just want to say that everything that we done talked about with healing, with trauma, with our situations, I just want everybody to know that you are so powerful. You are a multidimensional being. You can tap within yourself, use this quantum computer, tap into your memories, go relive the memories, change the outcome of the memory.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And come out victorious.
Yep. Whole paradigm shift. They have no clue.
What you talking
Like,
about? You hear
it's
me?
powerful, bro. I'm telling you. It was funny. I was sitting up here tripping when you was telling me the dream because I had a dream something similar. Like no cap about 2 months ago. I was fighting with releasing a few people. Not so much blocking people, cutting people off. It was more I had to step away from these people. Maybe the next lifetime I'll be able to connect. But right now, I got a path that I got to take. I got stuff I want to do. I got goals that I need to get to. And y'all distractions. You get what I'm saying? Good friends I've been knowing 15 some years, sister, brother, whatever.
Right, right.
So the time that I told you about my sister let off on me that day, she gonna laugh when she watched this. She let off on me on the phone, and that 2 days later, I had this dream. So the dream, I'm at this warehouse. The warehouse is huge, big old warehouse, all these windows and stuff. I'm outside, and outside it's a whole bunch of people just sitting on the ground. They walking around like zombies. The first thing came to my head was Soul. You seen Soul, right? The movie Soul. You
Mm-hmm.
remember how they was walking around with their heads down? They didn't know their purpose. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know where they was
Yes,
going.
indeed.
Boom. So these people walking around, they just like, so this dude kept talking to me. He kept saying, lady, I need you to go this way. I need you to go inside. I need you to go in there. I never saw his face, but he just kept talking to me. And I'm like, no, I'm not going in there. Every time he'd try to direct me to go into the warehouse, I said, no, I'm not going in there. So I dipped off on the other side of the warehouse. So I said, you know what, let me go see what's in the inside of this warehouse through these windows. I go look through the windows. It's a whole bunch of guys with guns just up to people's head and kids' heads and all kind of stuff. So I'm like, I dipped back and I ran back around on the other side of the building. When I stood on the side of that building, straight ahead, it was a path that was like lit up, just straight ahead. And I'm looking at it like, then I turned around, looked on the other side of the building. It was a Cadillac coming up the street, coming this way on the other side of the street. He letting off rounds, shooting everybody out there at this warehouse, right? First thing I do, look, took off running. So that path that I saw, I took off running. And the whole time I'm running, I'm saying, thank you, universe, thank you, universe, thank you, universe. This was coming out of my mind. Out my mouth. As soon as I get up to the top of a hill, I ended up like downtown somewhere, all these people partying, traffic going and all this stuff, and I woke up. So I got up, told my mom about this dream, and I'm like, and my son was like, I don't know, you gotta give me time to think about that dream, Mom. I'm gonna think about it. I said, well, let me go to the beauty supply store. I need to go do something. I go to the beauty supply store. Want to call my sister, which is the one that do my hair. I wanted to call her, but being her she had just let off on me a couple of days ago. So I was like, man, she probably don't want to talk to me right now. I can't call her because I needed something, to ask her name with some stuff, a product that I needed to get. And it was funny. She called me. I was thinking about her. She called me. And I looked at my phone. I said, damn, she called me anyway. So I was like, shit, let me pay for my stuff. Let me go outside and talk to her. She on FaceTime. She said, sis, I just had a vision. My sister has visions, like premonition. She can see a lot of stuff. She said, I had this vision that you was talking to some man. I never really saw his face, but it looked like you was in confrontation with him. And I was like, that's weird. She said, I just want to tell you something. Whatever path that you're going on, wherever you need to go, if you need to stop talking to me, if you need to pull away from me and your niece and you need to go about your business and do what you have to do, then you go ahead and do that. I literally stood there and I put my head down and I said, sis, I just had a dream about something similar to what you saw. And it was a guy pretty much talking to me, and I was confrontation with him a little bit, not trying to, follow what he was saying. That whole dream was telling me, Candace, you have a path in front of you. You have to leave that dead weight behind you. All those people that was out there, that was just sitting there, that was doing what he was telling them to do, and I was the only one wasn't doing what he was telling me to do. I went my own way. And that's what I got from that dream. It was just like, and I felt relief. And my sister just looked at me and was like, well, I love you. Do what you got to do. And it was like, that was the hard part of me releasing her. You get what I'm saying? We still talk. That's my baby. I'll talk to her 2, 3, out through. But it's not like how it was. I was taking on her problems. I was taking on everybody's issues that was around me. Everybody that would call me and they vent to me, I was taking on everybody's stuff, trying to work people through stuff and talk, and do. And it was just weighing on me where I couldn't see my vision and I couldn't see my path where I was going. So that dream said, baby girl, I need you to, okay?
You know what that dream was? I think that dream was so powerful to say that right now, because that dream was know thyself.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that dream was literally know thyself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, that's powerful.
So dope. I was like,
So
man.
if how I like to do just shadow work Sundays, you know what I'm saying, is really bring it home on what the message is. So the message in that is pay attention to your dreams, analyze your dreams, write them down, pay attention to the patterns that may happen in the dreams. You know what I'm saying? Because dreams are messages. If you pay attention to synchronicities, then you should pay attention to your dreams, because they are one and the same. When we dream, we're actually in the cosmos, in the astros, in the astral realms. You know what I'm saying? We're actually that's the real reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is all an illusion that we have to live out to actually be the gods and to be on that frequency and tap in on them realms that we want to in those in the cosmos and in the places that we go when we travel. You know what I'm saying? I know when I rest, I astral travel a lot, and so I feel like in some of these dreams, we may be in past lives or other lives that's going on at the same time. You know what I'm saying? In this metaverse. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as I'm not gonna speak on that actually right now.
So you gonna
But
wait for that one.
yeah, that's a whole nother because it's a whole. But yeah, but I would just say that we are everything that you say we are. You know what I'm saying? And we are everything that. What I'm trying to say is that the things that we have spoke on that you just spoke on, we have the capability to actually do those things. It's not just like a me and you thing. It's not a you know what I'm saying, a Candace and manifest thing. This is very obtainable. And what it sounded like to me is that like you said, we didn't have a pamphlet or a guide to know how to do this. And so we got her different ways in the same way.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, for anybody that may feel like they're doing it wrong, the only thing that you could be doing wrong is if you're beating up yourself, if you have a negative self-talk, if you're having guilt for standing for something. That's it. Just love yourself for every action or everything. Go with your heart. I actually live my life and make people feel uncomfortable, and not on purpose, but just I speak. They like to put things on me, and I'll be like, nah, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Then they want me to accept that for truth, but it's like you can't tell me about how I feel.
Yeah. They
That's a
try to
thing in
push
our
the auto
community.
suggestions and their fears onto you. Yeah.
That's what our community like to do. For some reason, we like to tell each other what we feel about it. Like I already know you mad instead of asking.
Yep.
And then
How you
whenever you
feel?
tell me I'm mad, now I'm mad, and now I seem like a contradiction because you kind of done proved your point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, you're right. That's true. And those, I also try to teach when I do speak to people. I let them know those habitual patterns, developing habitual patterns on a daily basis to put into your subconscious mind is like the best thing. So that's those affirmations that you speak on every single day. I have sticky notes all over my freaking room on my mirror. I'm about to go move to the bathroom. So where I go is where I need to look at that. I need to look to tell myself I am beautiful, I am wealthy, I am a millionaire, I am enough.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You never think that you're not a dope person. You dope as fuck. I tell people all the time, I'm dope as hell. So do not mistake my confidence for being cocky. Once you do
Exactly.
know thyself, you know how powerful you become. Can't nobody do nothing with you. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody tell you anything. Those auto suggestions that people will try to push on you, their fears, you know how to detach from those. So the
And you know
biggest
what's
thing
cold?
to
I'm
learn
sorry.
is learn how to detach from your emotions. Those emotions cause us to make messed up decisions. So when I say I have to step away from people, it's more let me step away from you because at this moment I love you. You are my friend. You are my family member. But my emotions will take over if I'm not strong enough in my mind to detach from your problems, your issues that you're putting on me at this moment. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? So I need to step away from you. Whatever that solution is that we talked about, I need you to go and fix whatever it is, that solution. Now the next time you come back to me, you should be saying, Candace, I did affirmation, I meditated, I did some shadow work on myself, I start forgiving myself. That's what I want to hear when you call me. See, when you call me and it's still that same story, you're gonna lose me every time because I can't keep, we can't keep doing that. Especially when you love somebody, you will see how much it affects you, and you will fall back into that trap. You get what I'm saying? So you have to. That's the part about just walking away and moving people out the way. You don't have to block them and cut them off and go through all of that. You can do it very gracefully, and you have that conversation when they call. Listen, I love you. I can't. We can't talk about that today. Let's talk about something positive. If you don't have anything positive, talk. We can't have this conversation. And that's nice. That's just straight
Right.
from the heart. And they gotta respect it. They don't have a choice.
No, it's deep. I just want to read this comment, and it's really what you're talking about. Well, he just had it up there, but people will sometimes try to project their stuff onto you, and then get mad when you don't accept it. You know,
Yeah.
logical one, and that's the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that right there is almost like one of the biggest transferring of trauma that we actually do, even in our relationships. You know, for as when we're in our relationships, in our households with someone that you love in an intimate way, then your family, your friends, but that part right there, and what's so cold, what I was gonna say earlier is that when you were talking about the confidence, they're
Yeah.
used to you walking around with your head down. They're
Yeah.
used to you walking around and needing them. See, there's a entitlement that comes with whenever you have been that person that always needed, that gives them life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so whenever you start to evolve and elevate, now they look at you like you think you better than me. You think
Yeah.
you this, and it's like it's so funny. It's like, bro, at the current moment, you make more money than me. You actually doing all type of you taking trips, you all this, but you see my joy
Yeah.
and how I have gratitude and how I can just spend time with my God that's at home for I mean I don't even got I can say 30 days straight, 6 months straight.
And
We
be
go outside,
good.
get and we in the crib, we doing us and I ain't talking, kicking it with nobody. I'm not, and you looking at me as if something wrong with me
Yeah.
because and I'm looking at you like I'm happy for you. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get me to take a trip, baby. You know what I'm saying? You planning the trip right now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm at that point, like, okay, I can, but my point is that people's lives, it ain't about their life. It ain't about the money that you making. It ain't about the fresh clothes you got on. It ain't about the car you driving. It's about you. It's about that
Yeah.
energy that you provide. It's about that joy, that gratitude, how somebody might know that you broke, but you smiling like you got $1 million.
Smile. I'm telling you.
You speaking to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like
Like, hey, good
now,
morning. How you doing? Have a good day. I do
and
people
then
like
look,
that too. That's being
they
mean.
had a nerve
People
to
be
call
having
us
bad
crazy.
days. They be having bad days, and I just be like, you have a good evening, sweetie. They be looking
For
like,
real.
oh, you ain't gonna give me that energy? No, I can't give you that, sweetheart.
No.
Yeah, I like that. What Julio said. Sometimes your light can trigger the shadow in others. Most definitely. Yep, that's
All
fact.
the time.
Yep, all the time. But they be on material. You got to understand too. They're working from a physical part, so they got all the Gucci bags and they got all the. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't own a Gucci bag. I don't own a Louis Vuitton bag. I don't own
Yeah.
none of that stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm at peace. I'm self fulfilled. So what I got right here, money ain't buying all of that. Money not buying my peace and none of that stuff. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that stuff will come to me gracefully when it needs to. But right now, I'm not focused on that. People are so focused on a materialistic stuff. They chasing money. I don't have to chase money. You don't have to. They don't understand that either. Like it's not even all about that. So that's definitely a big fact right there. So that self fulfillment, choosing yourself every single day. Even if you're in a relationship, if you married, it does not matter. You have to wake up every day and you choose you first. So if you have a routine when you get up in the morning, and my husband better have one too. I'm going to the gym. I do my smoothies at this time. I eat my fruit at this time. I read my book at this time. I journal at this time. I meditate at this time, and so on and so on. And you better have your routine too. And guess what? We'll be back up when we supposed to. But that's us choosing us every day. And you shouldn't have a problem with choosing yourself when you are self fulfilled. You're supposed to love
And I,
yourself. He's supposed to love himself.
so that's powerful. And baby, I talk too much sometimes. About to talk. So look, so so this is just some real stuff though. So we get grounded every rise.
Yeah.
Play music, singing bowl, great rising, whatever. Like I'm always up at 5 something. So I'm up way before her. So I'm in here. I didn't probably watch the brother Rich. I didn't probably man, I didn't probably recorded a song. I done meditated, I done ate, I done did all type of stuff, before she get up. And then we go get grounded. And the point is that one day I was going through I was going through an upgrade. We didn't know what was going on, and it wasn't like a altercation, but I was quiet. And she was like, "Yo, you good?" You know what I'm saying? So she had to just really check with me, and just make sure I was good. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, she knew I was good. Major upgrades happened that day, and I was actually getting prepared for shadow work on my father. So it was beautiful. She helped me get to the revelation of it. But my point is whenever I was I'm trying to remember where I was at.
Getting up in the morning before her.
Oh, so no, so I'm saying that basically the power of doing it together and to having that pattern and actually sticking to it is so powerful that even if one little bitty thing changed, she used to be coming in here and I'm lit and I'm in here quiet. I'm not even saying I didn't say nothing that rising. You know what I'm saying? I was going through some deep. I was just, I was assessing. I was in my heart space trying to figure out what was going on with me. But I didn't feel like communicating it. I didn't feel like because I didn't know. If I communicated, I feel like I would get frustrated.
Right.
This is a real thing with shadow work, and so I was going within and just staying quiet. But the point is that energy was noticed. I'm talking about without and so that's the power of us coming together. You know what I'm saying? We won't even be able to be off because it's going to be second nature. You're going to want it. You're going to want to rise up and merge and connect. We go out there and get grounded. Sometimes we meditate. Sometimes we just talk.
Yep.
We just have to talking about this. It's 7:30, whatever. We just out there just talking. It's getting grounded, just talking, walking in the grass, just talking, charging our crystals. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I go out.
Because y'all on the same purpose, bro. Like that's what people need. Like you have to be on the same purpose in order to connect. Like if you're not on that, it's you gotta have that balance. It's balances in everything, definitely in that relationship. So I mean, y'all
it gotta be.
Gotta be. Yeah.
Because if it ain't, it's gonna affect your walk.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, every day. That's why I said, oh, dude, you can't eat no meat. I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
So I can't. We ain't gonna work because I'm not cooking no meat. I'm not putting that energy, and I'm not even bringing that energy into my house. So that's gonna be a problem. I ain't listening to no rap music no more unless it's you. I gotta listen to King Manifest. You know what I'm saying? I ain't listening to that. You can't be up in here listening to boogie shaking. I can't do it. It ain't gonna happen. It's a lot of stuff. You don't read. I need you to pick up a book, bro.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's
power,
like
man.
it's so powerful. It's like, so that right there is I know the universe will bring me my king who I need. Most definitely, because as long as I'm working on myself and I'm doing the work, he's going to come. And he's going to come exactly like me. Because you are who you attract. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I don't even worry about it. I'm not scared. I'm not fearful. I'm not out here trying to look for him. I don't have to do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't come to me. I'm going to attract him.
All I can say is I know many guys can relate, and if you've been trying to figure it out, that's the answer. You know what I'm saying? That's the answer right there. We don't chase, we attract. You see what I'm saying? And so it's about the energy. You know what I'm saying? Use your intuition, the power that you have, and feel your way through these situations. Not in the root chakra where you full of anxiety, fear, feel like I need somebody. Oh, I need somebody to comfort me. No, you have everything that you need within you because truthfully, even when you broken, we still need you to comfort us.
Yeah.
So you are always who you are. That superconductor of love, a woman is going to be that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When we connect with the divine, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there are not goddesses that are in their masculine. There's a lot of them, especially nowadays. They're promoting it in the music. For women not to be in their heart space, but to be in the masculine energy. But a goddess, but even her in her most masculine form, she's still going to have. She can't help but to be intuitive. A woman can be low vibrational as you can, whatever you want to call low vibrational, and she still know her man cheating.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
facts.
that's fact.
She connected. There's a
Oh, man.
power, that mitochondrial DNA that y'all have, DEA that y'all have that is, you know what I'm saying, that is unmatched. So I'm just saying, for the goddess, tap into your energy, like Candace said, she got her really on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You gotta
it,
do the work. You gotta do the work.
in our
Not
community,
slack.
we only have examples. You know what I'm saying? So you an example. You feel me?
Yeah, most definitely. That's why I told you earlier when that was a post I did yesterday. Your women and men, they ask for all these exotic things like, oh, I want a man that does this, he does this, he does this, he does this, but you're not doing any of that stuff. You have to do the work
Mm-hmm.
yourself in order to attract that type of person. So if you want this old built man with this 6-pack and all this, you ain't going to the gym. You over here getting BBLs and surgeries and getting booty shots and look. No,
Talk
you ain't
about
gonna get what you want. So you cannot ask for a rare breed of a person, a woman or a man, and you're being an average person. Like it's
it.
not
Right,
gonna
right,
work.
right,
And I'm not accepting average at all whatsoever. I'm not. And that comes from me. I put my time in.
right.
I'd have been married 3 times. Not to say that I won't get married again. I'm still young. I'm 38 years old. I have that time, but it's going to be different this time. You know what I mean? I know I love myself now. I don't have to need you. I want you. It's a whole different story. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So he should be the same way so that when we do connect, that list ain't this long of things that I need from you. I don't need all
Right,
of that
right.
stuff from you. I got it already. It's right here. I got me. Protection is mostly what I'm gonna need. And nurturing is usually what that man need. You get what I'm saying? And nurturing your family. Once that woman is secure in herself, she's confident in herself, it's all gain from there.
So look, so I'm gonna be real with you, right? So, this for the gods, you know what I'm saying? And for the goddess, don't take my words to be, don't take my words arrogantly. Take them in the most passionate form of purity. Um, we as men, we are inspired by the goddess in so many ways that we have natural things about us, like protective. Like me, I'm a protector. I'm super on that energy. You know what I'm saying? Big Shango energy. I'm a big protector. So I've been like that. At the same time, when I was out in the streets, I was in a protective energy, but it was nowhere near the level that it is. It ain't even like it's night and day. Like I was how I am about my wife and how I've been about her before she was my wife versus who I am, how I am about my mother or my sister. There's a love that they provoke inside of us, that y'all provoke inside of us, that actually make us be these warriors of this high statue that is of an impossible, what scares the white man. There's a this power that we have in us. Y'all actually awaken that in us. That's why they take us separating the homes. Because if we got something to fight for, niggas is fighting for niggas. Niggas ain't really fighting for niggas because niggas is killing niggas.
Right?
So when a cop go get a nigga, he like, well, that's that nigga. He just killed a nigga 3 weeks ago. He like, it's the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if these men actually got homes and people to that they actually like, I live by something because I have a goddess and I protect my home and I protect by protecting her, I gotta protect me. So I don't go around nobody that don't have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
If you ain't nothing to lose, I don't want to be around you.
that's
You see
it.
what I'm saying? Because you have to value your life. You have to value the people around you. And that's what that brings value. Y'all bring value to our life. We love ourselves. We can get the money. We can be bosses. We can do all type of things. But the only reason why a man sleep with 1 million women because of that value. It's validation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like a woman, like mama saying you did a good job. Like grandma saying, man, you know what I'm saying? You can, even though you messed up, do it one more time.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like that. Nothing like your wife or your goddess or, you know what I'm saying, or just that feminine energy, your friend calling you like, how you doing today? Are you good? There's nothing that compares to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
so
not. That's
just
powerful, man.
that's how powerful that y'all are. You know what I'm saying? As goddess. And that's why we need that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why they attack us. B's and H's and she ain't nothing but this. And then they got the guys out here talking about scamming a nigga talking about robbing her. And it's like, how did we even get here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Music, TV, Atlanta Housewives, City Girls,
exactly.
all this shit that's all over the internet. And it's like, this is what they're programmed to, and this is the reason why a lot of these relationships and is separated. And it's only, I'm not saying it's just our community, but it's really big in the urban community as far as they attack the women insecurities and then they attack the
Exactly.
man's ego. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Talk
And
about
that
it.
causes a huge problem. And you have to unlearn that stuff. That's why it's so important. Heal, 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 my people. Please. You get what I'm saying? Do not live in the past. It's like we have the past. You right here in the present. The future is in front of you. You want to get rid of that. You don't want that stuff that's behind you. You get what I'm saying? I focus on today and today only. I cannot tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. It's Sunday tomorrow, but I can't tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on where I'm at right now. I'm talking to you, and I'm in the present moment. That's it, and I'm so grateful for that. Other than that, it's control. You get what I'm saying? Your past caused you to control stuff.
Mm.
That's where we mess up at. You gotta put that guards down. You gotta let that past go, so you will not be in control. You gotta let go. That's why I tell people let go. Stop trying to control everything. Your life is so much easier if you just let it be. And that future, those future blessings, they'll start coming in. That past gone. You're not even thinking about that. So everything the universe brings to you, oh, when it comes, it's gonna come. You can't even stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's just coming. You better be ready for it because you asked for
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
it. Yep.
You know what's deep? I was thinking, you know what I'm saying, when you was talking. So my shadow, I brought my shadow from a place of being a narcissist. My shadow actually started off as a narcissist, to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, that control. My shadow wanted to actually control me. And in certain ways, my shadow did control me. Um, I think that we have this illusion, not this illusion, but in certain ways, it's a truth to it. But that we didn't really know our shadow this whole time. But truthfully, our shadow been in control in a lot of these situations. And so the only time, so I'll give an example, right? Say somebody, let's use the black community again, our community for what's being promoted. Not saying we're the only people killing each other. That's not the case at all. That's a false narrative that they try to promote. But I'm gonna just speak on what we're talking about with the music and how we are. Say, matter of fact, let's scratch race. Say a person kills somebody in that moment and then they go to jail. Their shadow killed that person in their shadow. They was in their shadow. They go to jail and they cry immediately because now they're in their I can't even say higher self. I would just say they're not they're in a higher vibration because they're in compassion
Yep.
or they're in guilt. Either way is shadow work. So that shadow getting shook up either way. You know what I'm saying? And so like I've been in moments where I've snapped on people, where I did things and said things just like that person killing somebody. I've killed somebody with my words. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a real thing. We know how I know. I lived in a lot of places with verbal abuse. So I was killing people with my words. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, my point is that shadow. We have to understand our shadow can be very narcissistic, and so
Yeah.
we have to our shadow need deep therapy.
Yeah.
That shadow is where your shadow has certain memories that you don't even remember that your parents did to you. It could be, it's stuff get real deep and with like the traumas in our community. But it could be the darkest things that you might not even know why you react and project, or why you uncomfortable around men a certain way, or why you uncomfortable around women a certain way, or why you don't like when somebody say it like this to you, or when you know what I'm saying? Like these triggers that you're talking about, they actually lie into these deep areas of memories that some of us don't even remember.
I don't remember. That's what do
You
they
know what I'm
call
saying?
that? There's some type of it's amnesia. Is it dissociated? dissociative amnesia or something like that, where you pretty much don't remember a lot of the things from your past. Like you literally threw it to the back. It's a lot of people you just ignored it for so long. It don't even exist no more. You don't remember, a lot of that stuff. So especially when women are like sexually abused and things of that nature like that, a lot of times they try to forget it so much and they cover it up so much, but it comes because they haven't dealt with it. It comes out in their relationship. So they having problems with having sexual relationships with their dude or their husband, and they don't speak on it. Oh man, it causes a lot. So that part of them healing, that is very, very important, especially that's imperative when it comes to sexual abuse. And you're trying to get into a relationship. So yes, that most definitely. Any of it, but that one right there, that's a big factor in our community as well. A lot of women in our community, they was getting raped by uncles. You know what I'm saying? And family members. You get what I'm saying? It started in the household. So that caused a big, huge impact on a lot of women. And that's another reason why women are out here promiscuous and just, giving their bodies up and doing that. That's those voids they trying to feel from what they already felt and what they went through. Not knowing all they gotta do is stop and just reflect and just, you know what I'm saying? I gotta fix this. And they just don't know how.
That's deep because this month, on Saturday Sundays, we actually gonna speak about that. It was put on my heart to speak on it. And I was feeling like you supposed to be a special guest for that episode. It's so I swear I remember I told you I got a title, but I didn't want to talk about it yet till after this. And then now you speak on it. And that's that confirmation. Because you're right, that is a big area. And it's an area that people are scared to speak on. You know what I'm saying? It's an area that family members don't believe you when you tell them. It's an area where you actually become real crazy. You actually really become in a very uncomfortable position. So you have to be ready for that. For what I'm saying, for what comes with that, and what's so sad about it is that shouldn't nothing come with that, but hugs, compassion. What can we do? You know, um, just really just letting you vent, having an open space of vulnerability. Because I think that another thing that we do, we talk too much to people that don't care.
Yeah, there you go. Ding, ding, ding,
You
ding.
know, so if we actually channel that energy when these come to these deep type of things, talk to the people that you know that really love you. You know what I'm saying? Don't really go out here just becoming a gossip story. Don't gossip about your life with nobody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of gossiping about our own life. And that's only based on the person you're talking to. You really could be in a compassionate place and really just trying to get it off, but they're looking at you like you goofy. They're gonna have little responses, but they're not really, you know what I mean? They don't care. I tell people all the time, to love you have to care. You can't say you love them, but you don't care. You gotta care for me first. You know what I'm saying? Like that you know what I mean? Those are two different things.
yeah, yeah, right. That's important. And in our community is the one that really, really need it. Like we really, really need the support. Because these women, they do not have nobody to talk to. They spiral out of control. They become alcoholics. They lean to drugs. They getting on a lot of drugs, especially, heroin. It's all kind of stuff that comes behind our trauma and our abuse because we're trying to cover it up. Even with mine, with my dad, that with me not talking to him, and then with my mom, she was working and doing what she was doing. When I was hitting them streets and I was out there in the streets, I was drinking, drinking. I was drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot of Remy, a whole lot of alcohol. You get what I'm saying? And I was trying to cover that up and be numb. So when somebody tell me, or you hear this all the time, one of your friends say, "Oh, girl, I had a long day. I need a drink." Why do you need a drink? What
Exactly.
do you drink for? You gonna drink every single day? You alcoholic, and just be true to it. That's what it is. You get what I'm saying? Ain't no, I'm not alcoholic. I just need to unwind. No,
Every
you
day though,
alcoholic.
you know what I'm saying?
Unwind. You know what I'm saying? No, you're an alcoholic. Just flat out, just say I was me as Candace. I was an alcoholic. I was drinking every single day because I felt like that was a way to cope with my stress. Not
That's
knowing
real.
I need to go sit my ass in the corner, go meditate somewhere. Go write in my
Yeah.
journal. Go outside and take a walk. Let the sun hit this skin real quick. You know what I'm saying? Walk in the grass, sit your ass in the grass. You know what I'm saying? Be grounded. Let that grass come up in that root chakra, and and open you up. Go exercise, move that energy around and channel it. All that stuff will go away. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, no, those drugs it's a no. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, especially alcohol.
What's deep? So, we spoke about not doing alcohol and meditating. That's so powerful because the reason why a lot of us don't like to meditate, or not a lot of us, but the reason why it's hard to meditate at first, or why people run from meditation, period, across all cultures, is because meditation is a form of slowing everything down. You're stopping the dopamine and all that type of stuff. You are really becoming one. And in that time, you don't have a phone. There's nothing to stimulate you. Reading is the same way. When you read a book, it's the same. Reading to me is a form of meditation. So when you read, you're you're um you're slowing down everything, and you're really in I would say in a more open place. Versus in this other places, when you listen to things, something is projecting at you, but you're projecting constantly as well. Because that stimulation, you know what I'm saying? You're just vibrating, just constantly, like almost like you're constantly just shocking something. You know what I'm saying? But when you stop and you meditate, now all this shock and energy that's all going like this and static, it becomes these two little frequencies, and they just rolling, they just vibrating, and you can actually see what it is. You know what I'm saying? It makes everything, the picture gets real vivid, and that scares people because when the picture get vivid, they see things that they don't want to see. The reason why us as conscious people and spiritual people, because we actually have to become both in many ways. In the conscious aspect of it, when we speak about the government, when we speak about, I would say the government period, all the different secrets, and who really run this thing. If we talk about extraterrestrials, we can talk about many different things. When you talk about those things to people, they don't accept what you're saying because they're scared of it. I talk to people sometimes that know some stuff, and you would never know that they know anything because they hide it, they tuck it. They like, nah, what I'm gonna do about it today? I don't know how many times I done got that type of response. What I'm gonna do about it today? And I'm like, well, what you gonna do about it ever if it just happened? And if you got 5 years from now, something looking crazy. I'm a person that believes in generators. I got generators, solar panel, refrigerator, look like different, little cooler, but it's like a little refrigerator, but it can connect to my generator. But different people they thought I was crazy when I was spending all this money on this type of stuff. They wanted me to go out here and spend money on some new shoes or some new. And I'm like, you, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cooling. Like, I don't. My goddess, she literally tries to make me get new shoes, and not like in that way, but she's want to give me. I really do love shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I became to a point where it became secondary. You see what I'm saying? And that's only because, like, to me, whenever you're on this path and you really love yourself, you don't really look for things to make you. Now, I would love to wear some dope shoes, and not that I'll be wearing just dressing raggedy, but just for me to go get some new shoes that I actually see that I probably would have did that. I'm like, I rather just say that I may go buy a little something, you know what I mean, a little blow on and kick it with my baby, and kick it at the crib. I might go watch a movie, you know.
Definitely become very humble. Like, people don't understand that.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful place to live.
It is.
You avoid a lot of drama. You probably saving your life.
Yep.
I know I
All
did.
that people pleasing shit. Like, people still stuck in the people pleasing stuff, and that's where that comes from with all that materialistic stuff. So you on Instagram and you pretty much flexing off your watches and this and that and the other. Me, I might do a video or something with my little outfit on that ain't cost me so much money. I'm cute though. Because I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. That's not making me. And I remember when I was real strong on having that materialistic stuff, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. Like, I had all of that stuff. I had Cartiers. I had all that was back then, you know. And it's like now I'm like, okay. If I see it, okay. Been there, done that, but I wasn't happy. And I'm so much more happy. I put my money in investing myself. You know, investing in these classes and things that I'm taking because I have a path, I got a goal. That's where my money is going. I drop 10 bands on something like that with classes and things of that nature that's making me be a better version of myself, and that's about it. Because that money, it'll come later. Because what I invest and I put in, it's going to trickle back to me. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm pushing out in the universe, that's what I'm getting back. So that's our important part. The important part, which you were saying, staying grateful every day. I literally do a gratitude list every single day. 20 things a day I write down, and I just be going and going. I can go for days. I can go pages, but I just make that commitment to 20 things a day that I'm grateful for every single day. That's part of my journaling as well. Important.
Awesome. Now, very important. It makes a difference. Makes a difference.
Our physical wants those things, but when we connect to spirit, we see it's really what's really necessary. All right.
I say, family.
Yep. So, what song do we have the pleasure to listen to today from you? Was it the one you were talking about earlier, or this the Inner Child?
Yeah, Inner Child. Yeah, Inner Child. Big Inner Child vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Said earlier though, what was it about? I forgot what you said. That you named, there was a song you did. I'm gonna have to
I ain't gonna lie, I write probably at a minimum 10 songs a week.
Oh, that's a lot. They be dope though, bro. They be dope. And Cosmic Love, I love that.
Oh yeah, I say. Yeah, I need to go and do something with that on the original tip. You know, but that Cosmic Love is powerful.
Yeah. All right, you guys listening, you know, King Manifest is doing this thing, y'all, on the ones and twos over there. Got a dope song. It's called Inner Child. We're going to listen to it for a second, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure y'all follow him on every single platform, YouTube, IG, TikTok. You're on Facebook too, right?
Yeah.
Facebook, everything is I Am King Manifest 777.
I say.
I love you, and I'll always be here.
You promise?
I promise.
Yeah. Heal my inner child. I would sit and wonder why it's hard for me to smile. I have no control over the people that's around. I don't know who you are, you always going in and out. Started shadow work, that's when I saw my inner child. Yeah, I'm gonna heal my inner child. Yeah, heal my inner child. Yeah, I'm gonna heal my inner child. Yeah. Sit with myself, don't wanna live with myself. Tell me who dirt when nobody else dirt. Tell me who curb when nobody else curb. You already know they ain't playing it fair. You was alone, shedding them tears. I know you ain't scared, but you trapped in fur. They ignore your words. They gossip about you when you flip. Yeah. I'm fed up. I just found healing in a letter. I'm the umbrella for my brothers. I became a man without my father. See the contradictions in your parenting. The picture look different when you don't control the narrative. Yeah, I just hit control without the lead on all the memories. Let's live for peace. Yeah. You won't back me in again. Then go acting like you innocent. Tribe, I don't do no friends. My family is exclusive. My life been a movie, I got stories to tell. Realize I'm nothing like you and I'm truly myself. I guess if you weren't selfish, you would see how I feel. I'd rather be real than focus on dollar bills. I don't feel alone, I feel at peace by myself. I don't feel comfortable cause this not my crib. As a child it's hard to name all the places I live. You tried to take my gift when I got so much to give. I would sit and wonder why it's hard for me to smile. I have no control over the people that's around. I don't know who you are, you always going in and out. Started shadow work, that's when I saw my inner child. Yeah, I'm gonna heal my inner child. Yeah, heal my inner child. Yeah, I'm gonna heal my inner child. Yeah. Tell me what you want from me. I saw things I wasn't supposed to see. Now I ain't get no degree. I was out there in them streets. This wasn't the life I chose. How you gonna ignore my soul? Mama, where do pain go? Daddy, why you don't know?
I would sit and wonder why it's hard for me to smile. I had no control over the people that's around. Don't know who you are, you're always going in and out. Started shadow work.
That's when I saw my inner child. Yeah, I'm gonna heal my inner child. Yeah, heal my inner child. Yeah, I'm gonna heal my inner child. Yeah.
Had to get out my business, I'm all about healing, ayy. Had to get out my business, start my healing, ayy. Had to get out my business, I'm all about healing, Had to get out my business, start my healing,
I say, that was so
Much
nice, bro.
gratitude.
I love it. That's the part where we gotta start it. See, that's where you start. You start with that inner child shadow work. That's where everything is coming from. And it's so
I say.
important to tap into that. That's how I had my Kundalini awakening. When I tapped back into my inner child, it was like I saw myself as a little girl. I was in elementary. I was in a park. I had two little braids in my hair, and I was sitting in the middle of the playground, like kind of squatted down, looking around by myself. Nobody was there, and I went up to myself, hugged myself, and then said, "I'm here. I got you." And all that pain, everything that you went through, I'm here. And that right there, that started everything. I embraced that, like for real, because that's where it came from.
I say.
Yes. That's what's up. Okay. Um, let's see what else. I had a lot of notes on stuff. We covered so much stuff, man. Oh my goodness. Ooh, we covered a lot. Did you have anything
Now this
else?
was very powerful.
Yeah.
All I can say, for me is just Shadow Work Sundays every Sunday at 5:55 p.m. PST, where self love is therapy. We're speaking about different subjects, different levels of shadow work, going in, going deep, tapping into the really just quantum healing. Healing yourself on the quantum realm. Going into them deep parts of yourself and healing yourself from a multi-dimensional place, and really just breaking those karmic cycles and breaking generational curses. So tap in with us. I am King Manifest 777, and me, myself, and Divine Julio. Julio Wicks, and I am Julio Wicks. Not I am Julio Wicks, but and Julio Wicks. But yeah, what I'm saying. I put an I am in front of his name. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, much gratitude. I'm grateful to be here for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And peace, love, light, and healing to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. You shared so much light. You put light into this show today too. Like I just told my producer, I said, this right here, this is what I need every time. So to change the dynamics, this it right here. And it's being transparent and being vulnerable and being able to do that, like it's imperative, because if you don't, you're handicapping people. You get what I'm saying? Being vulnerable and just us walking in our truth and telling that story, it is going to help so many people. And I am Purple Lotus Flower. I am totally here to be somebody else's survival guide, so they do not have to make the same mistakes that I made. Break those generational curses, people. Also, follow me on all platforms that I have. Instagram, I have Candy_Love Lifting. That is pretty much my personal page. I have my baking page. If people do know, if you don't know, I do bake. I have my page, what is it at? Cream Treats 4201. That's on Instagram, and on TikTok, I'm at Purple Lotus Flower 888. You can also reach me on Facebook, Candace Parker. You can also reach my baking page, Cream Tricks 420 as well. Like I have literally like 6 pages. And also make sure you like, subscribe, and share this YouTube or whatever. This will be up for you guys to share all over. Please share this video, family, to your people. And also make sure you follow my man. I am King, Manifest 777. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I say, much gratitude.
All right. Peace and love, everybody. Talk to you later.
Yes, family.